Buck Pierce, had the privilege of working with him in Winnipeg. Buck is the offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach in Winnipeg now. Buck obviously was a quarterback in the CFL, but wanted to learn about the O-line game. So when I worked with him, he spent more time down with Coach Wiley and I trying to learn everything about the run game and what the blocking was up front. And then he'd work late at night to get his stuff done. So Buck is a work ethic guy. He's a phenomenal guy to be around. And let's get going with Buck Pierce.
Hey, guys. Coach Charbonneau, I appreciate you having me on. Everybody hear me? Everybody's good? Everybody see my screen? Sharp, you see my screen?
You're all good. Yep, looks good.
Awesome, guys. Well, hey, I appreciate this opportunity. It's nice. Usually we're on the field at this time of year, but sit and talk ball, and you guys give up your evenings, to sit with us and learn and share ideas. That's what it's all about. So thankful to Coach Charbonneau for doing this. So part of my presentation tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about quarterback Indy. Coach Howell, he just talked about preparing for their Indy, and how they plan their practice and do those kind of things. Mine's going to be a little bit more about what we focus on and what I look for, in guys. I think the Indy really, gives you a good indication of how you evaluate, young players, what their previous, coaching is. I think at the CFL level or at the pro level or even at the college level, when you're, recruiting somebody or you bring them into your organization, what you really see is just off a tape or off a pro day. So the Indy is kind of your first opportunity to sit down with them and put them through a set of drills and see what their background is. Really see what they've been taught and what they've been coached and what their foundation is. So some of the things that I look for in Indy, and I'll show you some of my favorite drills as well. Okay, let's get this thing going. First thing is, one of my all-time favorite guys in the world, Bill Russell. He's got a great quote out there, and he talks about success, and success is truly a result of consistent practice of winning skills and actions, and to me that's what individual is. You have an opportunity on a weekly basis and a daily basis, to put your position group and quarterbacks, especially, through these drills, and focus on winning skills and action. Reinforce what you believe in. Reinforce, the fundamentals that lead to accuracy, that lead to consistent, quarterback play, and that's truly what I believe. Okay, so some of the things that I focus on in Indy drills. All right, we've got a good shot of Coach Costello in the background there. But anytime, all right, and anything that you do in your Indy drill, if you can add ball security and a finished product, give them something to. If you can add a dynamic of a coach, another quarterback, swatting at the ball, add those to your drills. All right. Quarterbacks have the ball in their hands every snap. So make sure you add some sort of ball security into your drills. All right. It doesn't have to be every drill, but add that into it. And I always like to have a finish. I always like to give them a target or an end goal. One, because I really believe it adds competition amongst the group. All right. I love using, the quarterback net. I love having, targets. I love giving them, keys, a finish to every drill instead of just going through each drill. So add some sort of competition or some sort of finish to every drill that you do. All right. So those two elements I always try and add, when we can. Okay. The first thing to talk about is your feet or your base. And this is what I talk about the guys with is this is your foundation. All right. To me, I truly believe accuracy is dictated as much by throwing with your feet as anywhere else. All right. That's your foundation. If you don't have a solid foundation, the ball is going to be all over the place and you're going to have inaccurate passes, which none of us want. All right. Okay. A term that I say, to our quarterbacks all the time is, all right, let's make sure when we're talking about our feet, we start on balance and we finish with balance. All right. And that goes through with everything that we do. We're balanced throughout our drop. We're balanced as we move in the pocket. All right. And we're balanced as we finish a throw. All right. It drives me crazy when I see quarterbacks falling to their left or their right. You should be balanced in everything you do, trying to keep a straight line, moving in unison. All right. And it all starts with your feet. Okay. Feet underneath you. I teach, feet underneath your armpits. All right. When I talk about the feet underneath your armpits, the reason I like to say that is because now it's going to allow the quarterback to drive off his plant foot. All right. It's off your back foot. If your feet are underneath your armpits, now you can drive off that back foot and transfer your weight. And it's going to allow you to have a short stride. All right. If you're too spread out, if your feet are outside your armpits, all right, now you're going to overstride. All right. So keep your feet underneath your armpits. All right. My weight is always on my toes. You see this picture of Zach Caleros here, right? He's got a nice weight here. All right. Obviously, he's in the middle of a drop here, but I can see turf under his heels. All right. That's what I want to see right there. That's a powerful position. All right. And I always tell the guys, some of the best quarterbacks I've been around and, seen throughout the course of my career, they're consistent in their footwork. Every drop looks the same. It's consistent drop, consistent timing, and that always will lead to consistent accuracy. Okay. My next point that I look through every drill that we do is your knees, hips, and your core. To me now, that's your power source. All right. That's your power source right there. All right. What I look for in this area here, all right, is I want a slight knee bend at the knee and never at the hip. What you'll see some quarterbacks doing is they hunch. They'll bend at the hip. All right. I want a straight back. I want my eyes up and a straight back. All right. The next point is your shoulder and your front hip should be on the same plane. So you see that line going from Matt Nichols here, from his left shoulder to his left hip. Those work in unison. All right. Whether it's in a drop or it's going through a progression, climbing the pocket, those 2 points to me will work in unison. All right. And this, once again, this is how you're going to generate your power. All right. This is your power source. All right. Your core, your hips, and your knees. All right. This is what allows you to get that back hip through. If you're too tall, if you're standing up, if you don't have the knee bend, if you're bending at the hip, all right, you're not going to be able to transfer that weight and get that back hip into your throw. All right. So that's always something, that I look for. Okay. The next part, shoulders or upper body. All right. So throughout the course of the drill, I always want, all right, a relaxed upper body. Talk about the guy that have a relaxed upper body. And I always use the analogy of a gunfighter. All right. So you go back to the old, Western movies, you got a gunfighter. All right. And you always see him shaking his hands out before he draws. He's relaxed. All right. He's relaxed. A relaxed muscle is a quick muscle. All right. A tight muscle, all right, is slow. All right. So I want the upper body to be relaxed. I want him to be like a gunfighter up top to get the ball out quick. Okay. Tight off arm. Okay. I think this is extremely important. You have a tight off arm. All right. You keep your left or your guide arm. All right. Your left arm for a right-handed quarterback, nice and tight to your body. Too far outside, the hand's going to come off. All right. And you're going to use wasted motion. Nice, tight off arm. Okay. Elbows down, never out. All right. And where I look, for the ball position, as it comes to ball security, make sure it's tight to the body. We're between the pecs, tip of the ball's under the chin, and we always have 2 hands on the ball. All right. Nice, relaxed upper body. Okay. And the last part of what we look for is our eyes and our vision. This is the recognition part of things. All right. Quarterbacks play with their eyes, right? I mean, everything that we do, and what you ask you guys to do, you got to have your eyes up. So make sure that's a focal point in every drill that you do. All right. Just as much as all the footwork stuff you do, all the throwing mechanics things you do. All right. All the other, drills you do. Make sure you focus on eyes. Give them cues. All right. Hold up flashcards. I had a quarterback last year that on tape, it looked like he was skipping through certain progressions and was too fast. Well, I got some guys and I put them out and we held up, flashcards with just colors on it. So he'd have to drop back and go purple, green, red, blue, all right, to make sure he's seeing everything right in the progression, okay? So just make sure you continue to add that, you know, in all those things, all right? They're always up, they're never down. I talk with my guys about feel the rush, don't see it. And you'll see some of the drills that I do, all right? You got to be able to, you know, see breakpoint mechanics, all right? You got to see leverages, all right? You got to be able to know where your second receiver is. But if your eyes are down, all right, and there's some great drills that I, you know, put these guys in, all right, to allow them, you know, to have to keep their eyes up, if that makes sense, okay? And Marcus touched on this before. Always have a template or have something that you guys can go to, right? So everything that, you know, I have, and I give every single one of my quarterbacks one of these. And they're all diagrammed and drawn up, all right? So I'm able to pick things and certain things out of it. I also believe it's important to, you know, name your drills, all right? You know, have a drill that you know, that you've teached, you know, for a couple of weeks. So you're, all right, guys, right now we're going to figure eights, all right? And they know what figure eights are. And we go right to figure eights. All right, guys, we're going – in our drops, we're going three amigos. All right, just so they start to feel that and they understand, you know, what this drill is about, what the purpose of it is, and they execute it. So you don't spend the time explaining the drills as your indie time, which I think is very, very important. Okay, so if you see here, and let me see if I can get out of this here and go to a different one. Okay. I diagram every drill that I do. All right. And I give these, you know, to our players when they get signed or when, you know, we bring them up for camp. So they have this back. Say, all right, you know, these are the drills that I work on. What's the objective? All right. You look at the bag drills up top, and I apologize if this is too small, guys. All right. Maintain good balance and body position as the quarterback steps over the bag with his eyes to the receiver. All right, game relevance. Okay, I think that's important. You don't just do drills just to do drills. Explain to them, you know, why we're doing this drill, what the goal of this drill is. All right, so diagram your drills, have a template for it, and then go from there. All right. Let me go to some tape now. So now really what I want to do, guys, is basically just show you some drills, all right, and show you some of, you know, the things that I do every day, and I break some of our drills up into two categories: consistent indie and specific indie. Consistent indie are the things that I believe need to be done on a daily basis. Okay, those are the things you got to get them loose every day. All right, you got to get them warmed up. You got to get them, you know, doing these things. You have to do footwork drills. You have to do your drop progression. All right, you got to work, you know, ball handling. You got to work, you know, fakes and those things. And then I break it into the specific indie. All right, specific indie can be anything from, well, hey, you know, this guy needs to work on this week. All right, last week we missed, you know, 2 out routes on the move outside the pocket. All right, so now we'll start building in our specific indie on what that individual needs to work on. And once again, every drill that I have, if you can add in, you know, ball security and some sort of finish to it, whether it's, you know, running, you know, sprinting through the end of the drill, adding some kind of accuracy factor of it, because at the end of the day, that's the goal, is the finish of the drill. All right, so what I start with every day is I like, you know, and this is one of my consistent drills, all right, that we do every day to get us loose, okay? It's just down the line drills, all right? And I put them on the hash, and I take them to the sideline, and this is what we call our open steps, okay? Really to focus on staying on the line, all right, and not stepping in the bucket. You've all heard that term. I want them to get depth, but I use the term push and sweep grass, all right? Push and sweep grass. Stay on your toes, all right? You watch the quarterback here, start on balance and finish on balance. All right, that's the whole term. Use all 4 of those things I talked about: your foundation, your feet, all right, your knees, your hips, your upper body, and your eyes. All 4 of those things come into play in a simple drill like this. Easy to give them visual keys by holding up numbers, so make sure that their eyes are up. All right. So this is where, we're just working on our open steps. I want us to get good depth on our open step. You look at this guy here, very tight upper body. I don't like where his elbows are at. We should have a tight off arm, okay? And he's just a little stiff to me. He can get more depth here. That's all I'm trying to do. All right, so I work on the open step here first. You can see it here. Open, open, open. Matt's pretty good here. Open, nice relaxed upper body. His eyes are downfield, dropping on the line. All right. And the next thing we'll do is down the line with our crossover step. So our open step, all right, gets us depth. Our crossover step is going to bring us to balance. Open, and now a quick cross, quick cross, quick cross. So working on part of your drop progression, but also making sure, all right, everything else falls in line as well. Okay. And then I always like to add a flip into it. I like to be able to get our hips open, all right, maneuver, and loosen us up as we loosen up the lower body. Okay. I always find this good as a tool for us to get loose, part of your warm up, but also I hate just throwing to throw. All right. If you're going to warm up, make a point out of it of, finishing the throw. Always set a target. All right. Always, give the quarterback something to throw at. All right. Don't just throw to throw. All right. I don't like, I use the term, sometimes you're wasting ammo. Don't waste the bullets. All right. Make every rep count. So this is the drill. This is a drill that I use here where it's called perfect platform. All right. So this is simulating now, everybody, a perfect platform. All right. So this is at the top of your drop. You've made your read. You've gone through your progression, and now you're throwing the ball. So the weight now is on our back foot. We've already taken our 6-inch lead step. All right. And we're just working on transferring our weight from our back foot onto our front foot. That's all we're trying to do right now. All right. So I call this perfect platform. So the reason I do that is to re-emphasize to every drill that we do, all right, we want to get back to perfect platform. I'm going to add continual variables to each drill, but we want to end up in this perfect throwing position. All right. Another drill I like to do as a warm-up, I call this the jog away easy. All right. And I call it easy because right-handed quarterbacks, I want them to flip to their left. All right. So that's easier on their hips to flip. So I call this the jog away easy. Really what I'm focusing on here now is your weight transfer. All right. Transferring your weight, getting to that perfect platform that I just talked about. All right. Nice, easy lead step, bent knee. All right. And throwing an accurate ball. Okay. Now the end goal of it all is do it as fast as you can, but you never sacrifice the finish. You never sacrifice an accurate throw. All right. Another way that I like to warm up the quarterbacks, test their hips. All right. Get them doing something different than just standing and throwing the football. All right. Jog away hard. All right. So now for right-handed quarterbacks, I have them flip to their right. So now they really got to flip their hips around. All right. And we always talk about here too is we never want to have 2 feet off the ground. Right. We always want to have at least 1 foot on the ground. You watch number 15 here. This kid's got really, really good hips. All right. And good feet. All right. Watch how quick he is and watch where he's at compared to this guy. All right. He's already transferred his weight, good throwing position, short stride. All right. And delivered the ball. Okay. So these are just other ways of his drilling. You watch number 13 here, how he hops. I don't want him to hop. Because right now, he's not ready to throw the ball yet. He's just trying to go too fast. Okay. Some pocket drills that I like. Okay. So once again, what I focused on, I love using cones. I love using bags, but it all goes back to those 4 things: your feet, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your upper body. All right. And your eyes and your vision. Okay. Having your eyes downfield and then implementing some sort of finish into it. Okay. When I talk about quarterback play inside the pocket, all right, I want small movements, all right? I don't want big, abrupt movements because I want to be able to throw the ball at any body position that I'm in, all right? Remember what I said about our knees and hips. I want my front shoulder and my front hip, all right, to work on the same plane at all times. That means I only ever want to move my back foot, all right? So as I maneuver the pocket, I want to keep these two on the same plane and maneuver with my back foot as I'm climbing the pocket, okay, and going to different spots, small movements, staying balanced throughout the drill, and finishing with a good balanced throw. Okay, I don't like these big movements, you know, from this kid here. That's too big right there. All right, I don't want to be on our heels. Okay, I want to stay on our feet. Small movements within the pocket. I tell our quarterbacks too, big abrupt movements changes pass rush. All right, you want to help your boys out up front. All right, small movements. You make big abrupt movements, that's going to, you know, bring guys off the blocks. Okay, figure 8. Once again, something easy you can do. All right, I have our quarterbacks, you know, right now, you know, doing all these drills, all right, and sending me some videos of it, okay? Figure 8, once again, my front hip and my front shoulder should stay consistent. I want to move my back foot. Keep your feet underneath your armpits. Don't get spread out. And then finish with an accurate throw, all right? Another great pocket drill I like to use, all right? Get some cheap, you know, bean bags, all right? Put up some cones, give them a tight space to work in the pocket. I always tell our quarterbacks here as well, our objective and our action is to climb pockets. We want to climb pockets with our eyes downfield and throw the ball down the field, okay? Our reaction is to escape, all right? We get inside pressure, we can't climb, we'll escape, all right? But we want to be able to climb the pocket. So I want these guys to be able to get comfortable being in the pocket, feeling the pressure, not seeing it. I like this drill because it encompasses everything, okay? Give them a box or a pocket, give them a certain drop, make sure their eyes are downfield at a certain target, okay? Slight beanbag toss, make sure they make slight movements, staying on balance the whole time, staying on their toes and finishing the throw. I don't like the finish here, all right? I think he locks his front leg out and his weight is too much on his heel and not over his front foot. Okay, his base gets a little bit wide here as well. But I really like doing this drill here, you know, with these guys. That's pretty good there by this guy. Okay, so you watch start from finish, be balanced throughout your drop. All right, make sure his eyes are, you know, where they have to be, step and throw. All right. Another one I like to do is just a simple ladder, you know, warm guys up. Call this ladder with the finish. All right. Multiple ways you guys can go through the ladder, as all you guys do. All right. But once again, slight knee bend, nice upper bodies, relaxed shoulders, eyes downfield. And how quick can we set our feet and get to that perfect platform that I was talking about earlier? Okay, really good here. Start on balance, finish on balance, finish with balance, finish with balance. Okay. Okay, another thing I like to do with the bags, I call this the climb and escape. You give them a drop in your progression, make sure their eyes are at their target, okay? And now we're climbing to the bags. Okay, sorry there. Okay, give them spots to climb, and now escape. Focus and make sure you have good ball security at all times. Get outside the pocket. Once again, set your feet and throw an accurate ball. Okay, I want them to get through it quickly, and I want these guys to compete as a group. All right, but the end result, you know, once again, is finishing the drill with an accurate throw. Pretty good there. That's pretty good there. Good ball security, good feet, good balance, good finish. Okay. Once again, that whole aspect of adding competition to the group, especially in the CFL season, you're playing for 20 some odd weeks, 2 weeks of training camp. All right. You got to continue to, change your ND up. All right. So I like this drill because it encompasses everybody. All right. How fast can we get around the bag? All right. Quarterback coach over here will, clap his hands or blow a whistle, and then we're all going to throw. How quick can you get it out? Who's the first guy to hit it? I think we go 0 for 4 there, though. That's not very good. So anyway, those are some of my drills that I like doing, guys, and really what, I like to focus on when I look at, quarterback play. And I know there's not a lot of time all the time. Quarterbacks are with O-line, quarterbacks with running backs, quarterbacks are with receivers, routes on air and all those things. But I truly believe even at, the professional level, getting the most out of your indie and getting the most out of your quarterbacks is adding, different drills, but also keeping your core beliefs and and they understand, of what you want from them, right? One of our first meetings we have with the quarterbacks is, we talk about our indie. We talk about what wealth and profit, we're going to get out of this period on a daily basis. All right. And having a plan from, day 1, day 2, and day 3, and even the day before. And, I played quarterback at the CFL, for 9 years. And, sometimes the same drills get monotonous and they get tiring. Change them up, but keep your core beliefs, there with it. So, Coach Charbonneau, that's my time, I think, buddy.
Yeah, that was awesome. I appreciate that. Hey, there were some really good things there. One from a O-line perspective, consistent drop, consistent timing. Love hearing that. It's an awesome thing as an O-line guy to hear. The color ID with the read progression. That's a great drill. I hadn't seen that one before, so that was pretty good one. I'd love to see that one in action. So if you guys have any questions, just turn your mic on and fire away.
Don't be shy.
Coach, I have a quick one. You had your climb and escape where they climbed to the bags. The drill before that, when you were tossing the bags, what were the instructions to get away from the bag there in terms of footwork?
So still the same thing. Front shoulder, front hip. Work on the same plane. All right. So if you break it down to, every aspect of the drill, I want them to start in a balanced stance. I want their eyes to be all the way up at their target the whole time. So now I'm really emphasizing inside pass rush, all right, with slight movement, just to buy yourself a little bit of time and throw an accurate throw. So I want them to feel the rush, not see it. I don't want their eyes down, because I might throw, one bag and then, blow a whistle or clap, and they got to be ready to throw. All right. So I'm trying to implement all 4 of those things that I talked about within one drill. All right. And the end result is doing everything with great ball security and a good finish. All right. So give them, a drop progression, give them all those different things, continue to add different variables, to those drills. You don't need a ton of drills as long as as they understand, what you want with those drills, continue to add, different things with them. The reason I like that drill is it encompasses everything, and really focusing on, guys that have a good understanding and some poise in the pocket that aren't worried about getting hit by the bag. It's interesting when you do that drill to start, everybody's so worried about getting hit by the bag, and that's their whole goal. So they look and their eyes are down, right? And then I tell them to throw it, and they got to reset their feet, step and throw. So, I'm not throwing it hard, right? I'm not trying to kill the guy with it. I'm just trying to get them to understand, just, to be able to move in small areas, still keeping that perfect platform ready deliver an accurate throw.
Coach Carl, turn your mic off or your mic on. There you go. You're ready to go. Go for
Hey,
it.
Coach. What were the you had 4 points on shoulders and upper body. What were I got 3 of them. I didn't get all 4. You had relaxed upper body, tight off arm, elbows down, never out. What was the 4th point?
Pull it up.
What's that?
Pull it up right there. Ball position.
Ball
position. Yeah.
Ball position.
Yeah.
And where do you, and you said you like it, you don't like it, you like it just below the chin. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I want it somewhere middle pec.
Middle pec. Okay.
I think, we've all had quarterbacks that held it,
Right.
back here. All right. Or they've held it too far out in front of their body, or they're down too low. All right. All I'm really trying to do there is have, great ball security and just continue to eliminate, wasted motion. I think that's where a lot of things happen, is where you hold the ball. That's your wasted motion.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem, Dale.
Awesome. Can I ask a question? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Yep, you're good. Go for it.
Awesome. My name is Miles Gibbon. I'm coming maybe from a little bit of a different perspective. I'm a private quarterbacks coach, so I don't do
Nice.
I'm not affiliated with the team. I'm actually curious to what kind of attention, you get 5 different quarterbacks, coming
Yeah.
into a room from different backgrounds, different throwing mechanics, different footwork, maybe even different snap stances. To what degree do you change or manipulate those things? Because obviously you talked a little bit at the beginning about some of the non-negotiables of playing quarterback. How do you attack some of the other aspects of a quarterback as a coach at the pro level, dealing with that kind of stuff?
Well, first thing I'll say is at the pro level, your time that you have with certain guys might not be as much needed. I'm getting guys at 23, 24 years old, sometimes 28, if they've been in the NFL for a while or bounced around other places. So, I tell the guys, hey, I'm not going to change your core, fundamentals of what you do. I'm going to give you tools, to help you. All right. I'm going to teach, I'm still going to coach you on your open step. I've had quarterbacks come to me, Miles, from 4 years at university that have never been taught a drop before, and they're playing at the pro level.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm not going to try and coach his, shortcomings to help him fit into our system because of our shortened, time frame of when we have those guys and when we need those guys to produce, if that makes sense. It's tough because you don't know how long you're going to have those guys, right? So, to be able to say that I'm going to change a guy, from his release and, those, big points, I'm going to coach him, how to improve those things. I might not get my result in the time frame. All right. But I'll continue to, enforce those things with them.
Awesome. No, I appreciate it. That's a great answer. And thanks for your time. I appreciate it. And I was always a fan of your play style, watching you play. So it's awesome to see you still part of the CFL, man.
Oh, I appreciate it, Miles.
Any other questions?
Coach, I got a question here.
Yeah.
How do you manage reps or number of throws, especially during camps, so you don't get the dead arm or the shoulder pains, arm?
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. That's why I continue to do, I think a lot of times people always incorporate throwing into your indie. And I'll put it this way. I'll put it in, and if I had, had more time, put it through the course of a week. All right. Day 1, day 2, day 3. By the time we get to day 3, they've thrown enough balls. They've gone through all their reps, throwing the ball. So now I'll when I have indie time with them on day 3, I'll work footwork, I'll work ball handling, I'll work our fakes, I'll work our different actions. All right. So now I'll still be able to, add the same elements, all right, into my drill without without the throw. All right. So I think it's important that you continue to, cater yourself to, different aspects. I'll work on fakes. I'll work on screens. All right. I'll work on RPO things, without throws. I'll work on, the weight transfer. I'll work on pitches. All right. Option things. So, just being able to be, multiple and not always throw the ball. That's a great point. I don't try and, every indie drill throw all the time. I think that's the good part about, always having some sort of consistent indie to where, the quarterback can always be coached on something. That's the great thing about, the position. Every rep in a game, every rep in practice, there's always something to coach, whether it's, read wise, fundamental wise, or, what you're seeing, from the defense.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
That was awesome, Buck. Well, I appreciate it. And something that came up just watching your film, the on-field camera stuff is just a great angle for the guys and provides the players with some great feedback. So I know the guys that are using Huddle and stuff, if you just use your cell phone out on the field, you can record it to your cell phone and then push it out. Just gives the guys a great angle to be able to see a lot of the finer points rather than that high camera. Like Mark talked about, always trying to fight for who has that camera. You probably got your cell phone with you. And that way the O-line coach gets to keep the camera too. So
Hey, Paul, I had a quick question if I can ask Buck just a really quick question here.
Yep, go for it.
Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Buck, again, I want to echo everybody's sentiments. Appreciate you taking the time. Some good stuff there. I was wondering, because one of the things you talked about, you kind of, Miles asked an interesting question. I kind of want to elaborate on a little. One of the things you talked about was you don't have a lot of time that you get to spend with them. And I mean, again, you're getting polished, or quarterbacks that have had success doing things, as I like to say sometimes, they've mastered poor technique, so they're good at it. But I guess my question is twofold, and it's kind of separate. First off, do you ever get the guys where, again, they're good at doing, like, I'll use a side armor, for example, that, it's just that little tweak that you have to do in season because you realize that's what's limiting and you see the guy's potential. Is that something you approach in season if you guys see the potential? What's your thoughts on that? Or do you believe in not getting into their heads in terms of you just got to go out there and complete the ball? I don't know if I'm making sense with my question.
No. Yeah, I mean, I think it has to, come down to is it limiting their ability to be successful. And I think you have to understand, the player, those things. Is it worth something? Where's your demand, and what are you going to get out of it? Is there a cost benefit to that, right? Are you going to focus more on that, or are you going to build around those inefficiencies? With what he does. And I think, part of our job as coaches is to build around those efficiencies, right? If he's your guy and those are, he does a lot of good things for you, you have to be able to, put him in position, to be successful with those inefficiencies, right? No quarterback's going to have it all, right? And I think, that's the good part about, having a quarterback that you spend a lot of time with and being around for a lot of years and having, some consistency there as you start to learn each other a little bit. And I think, that's the key thing there is I think, trying to change a guy, mid-season and all your energy and all your focus is going towards that. I think, it's probably, I think you get more benefit of, building around those than trying to change it.
Also cool. And the second part is a little more specific, and it's just, you talked about overstriders in that step, and I find that it's one of the tougher things to write. I know when I played our coach, that was going back years, just put a cinder block in front of her foot and you jam your toe enough, and that was the end of that. I don't think you can do that anymore. I don't think you've been allowed to do it for about 20 years. Is there anything you focus on to make sure, or to kind of correct that overstride or correct taking too big an opening step?
Well, we you go back to the cinder block idea. We've done things where you put, some of the therapy bands on your legs. You put some therapy bands on your legs. You put them in that perfect, what I call perfect platform. And you tell them take that 6-inch lead step. So they feel what that is. And once they feel that resistance, all right, that's as far as they should go. All right. So put their feet under their armpits, put a therapy band that has, not too tight, but big enough that there's a little bit of play to it. All right. And then have them take that 6-inch lead step. And I think, if you're really talking about focusing on that, that's another good way of doing it.
Awesome. Thank you. Just by your smile, I think you know the cinder block from your background yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man.
Well,
Thanks again.
It's really, guys, too, like you get the guys that try and throw all arm, and instead of just bringing the hip through, that's when you really get an overstrider as well. As guys that try and throw too much upper body wise, they're really going to overstride and step. And I always try and focus on this too, is with your lead step, I talk about a 6-inch lead step, get them to focus on coming down over your toe. Some quarterbacks that overstride will come down like heel toe, or they'll come down flat footed, and that's going to lock that leg out. All right. So really focus on them about coming down with that lead step over your front toe with a bent knee, and that'll get the ball to stay down.
Cool, man. Appreciate it. Really appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Buck. Appreciate you.